damn, man, I got to pay for that? Yeah, you got to pay for that. That's how I go in prison. Welcome to the penitentiary. I don't think so. Homie, don't play that. Yo, 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 what's up? What's up? It's your main man, Bug, cuz Mr. No Faking, and we right here on Clown Silly TV. And I just take this opportunity to just to put something out there in the air right quick because I've made some poor decisions growing up and ended up having to go that way to the penitentiary. And when I did, these are five prison scams that I witnessed with my own eyes, man. And one of them that I tell y'all about that actually was happening to me. But here we go. We're gonna start with number 5. The fake the fallout for a hero to make a friend. This what that is. When they see you come in there and you new, you fairly new, or sometimes you don't even have to be new. You can just be motherfuckers could just might think you green or whatever the case may be. And what they do is they have some guys come up on you and press you. And press meaning, you know what I'm saying, like extorting you, trying to bully you, trying to buffalo you, trying to threaten you, scare you into giving them money. So that's what it is when they pressing you. So they get somebody to come up there to press you and get you all wound up, all scared and worried like it's some shit finna go down. And then sometimes it might be your celly who comes as the hero. Those are the accomplices. Let me get it straight right quick. I'm sorry. You got the victim, the one who is the actual victim. Then you got the pressers, the one who's doing the pressing. And then you got the hero. And that's the one who comes to save the day. And they all working together against you, the victim. So, like I said, once they scare you into thinking something going on that's not, it could be off anything. Now you worried and you tripping, and then you get somebody to pull up on you who that you maybe in your process of getting to where you was at, you seen them, you might have spent some time with them in a county jail or a city jail, so you feel like you know him a little bit. And what he do is he tell you that he got you. You ain't got to worry about that shit. He gonna cover you. Fuck them. And he might go as far as tell you to come out on the yard with him when it's time to go out on the yard. Bring a couple of his buddies with him, guys lifting weights, looking strong and big, and they pull up on the pressers. They pull up on the cats who was pressing you, and in front of them, you do a thorough check down. You know what I'm saying? Whether you do it super gangster, whether you do it calmly, however you do it, you diffuse the situation. And once you do that, that victim now feels like you saved him. You're a hero, and you feel obligated to want to give him or something or owe him. He's not telling you you owe me for this, but he put you in a situation to make you feel like that you owe him anyway, and that's how it starts. And from there and furthermore, what I mean, he in your pockets, he in your buckets. You sending money to him now because of that one incident. It can go a long way. And if you don't know nothing about this and you don't peep it, it can and will happen to you. You dig? So, be careful for that. I tell all my youngsters, all the youth out there, if you've never been there before. So these are some tips. The number one tip is don't go. The number one tip is don't do anything that'll get you there. Not be slick about it, not try to get away with it. The number one thing is to steer clear, stay away from that, and you won't have to worry about it. But if you do, that's one of the things to look for. Okay. Number two, I'm saying this is just a false signature. Nothing major, nothing big, but I saw it. It's when you're ready to get your cell moved or you want to change, you don't want to live in the cell that you living with. You have to have a cell that you're gonna move to bring to the caseworker. And all the signatures, everybody involved has to sign it. That means you and your cell, you have to sign it, and whatever cell you talk about moving to, they have to sign it, both of them. All four have to be in agreement. So the hard part about that is it's very seldom you in a cell with somebody and you find somebody who you want to sell with who's willing to change and go in the cell with that person. I mean, they might be willing to be like, hey, shit, I can't make you stay in here and live with me, but you're not gonna just put me in the cell with anybody because once you sign those room moves, you can't do it again for another 6 months or another year, shit like that. So I wouldn't want to waste my room move just to help you. If you want to be in the cell with who I'm in the cell with now, that's cool. But if it means I gotta waste my room move to go in the cell with somebody weird who I don't want to be in there with, it usually don't happen. So that's when people start negotiating, trying to pay people. It's politics. But the janky and the scam thing is to go ahead and forge that signature. When you go ahead and forge that signature and then you go to the caseworker, all four of y'all may not be there, which it should be, but it may be things like they at work, the caseworker leave by the time they get off work. So the caseworker usually read over it, go for it. The next thing you know, you end up moved. And then you try to figure out what in the fuck going on. You find out that it moved you in the cell with somebody. You're like, what the hell this was about? But you didn't fill out no room slip. So you instantly start looking for some place else to move to. And then when you go present it to the caseworker, they telling you, oh, you have already had your room moved and here's your signature, and you fucked for the next 6 months. So now it's either you get accept it and sit back, which is more likely the best thing to do because there's no challenging it unless you challenge it with that person and get into an altercation. So the best way to prevent that is, like I said, steer clear. That's the fake the fallout. Okay. Now we got the thing they call the powder pack. This one crazy, y'all. This one crazy. It's like, okay, you work in the kitchen and in a joint, they said when they selling illegal shit, they call them papers. You know what I'm saying? This is a $40 paper. It's an $80 paper. They call them papers because it's the shit packed up in there, wrapped up in a paper. So where the lit come in, that is, you work in the kitchen. So by you working in the kitchen, you put together a powder pack, regular baby powder. You put it all up in a piece of paper and get it ready, get it folded up, like it's the shit. And it ain't nothing but powder, but you trying to make it appear as if it's some type of drug. And when you in the kitchen, you already got your mark. Now, I heard those are people involved in that. You got the mark, the victim, and then you got the prey, the one who preying on that mark, the scammer. So it's just really that can only be two involved. It could possibly be three. Well, yeah, the scammer might have some people around just to co-sign and verify, confirm what he's saying, to put some more scare, spook into it. So while you in the kitchen, your man's might be walking past with some glass and some cups to clean, whatever, and you bump into him and you drop the paper on the floor in the kitchen where it's wet, and you already know any powder substance as soon as it get wet, it's over. So, and your reason for having it out at that moment because you was finna make your move. You was waiting on a certain wing to come to chow to eat, and by you working in the kitchen, boom, you wanted to make your move. So when you drop it, you telling dude, what the fuck? Look what you did, man. You pick it up to where he can see some of the powder on the paper and he see it's running. Man, that's a motherfucking $80 paper, man. Somebody gotta pay for that shit. So when he get to going like that, then you get, here come his help. He come in, what the fuck, man? You dropped it? Oh shit. And then you may even have the person come like that they was about to buy it, man. You got that for me? Man, this motherfucker just dropped it. Oh shit. Now they got your ass surrounded and hemmed up and they about to tell you got to pay for that paper. And most of the time when they pick their marks, they pick a motherfucker they know they get money. Because if a person ain't got no money, there's no point you even doing that to them unless it's some politics going on and you doing that for a reason, that's not about money. But for the most part, this man getting money sent to his books every week. He getting 150. He going to the store regular. So bam, you pop that move on him. Now as far as the mark go, the victim, sometimes they might even think it's bullshit and call bullshit, but just to get away from that shit and so it won't happen again, they sometimes like, fuck it, I'm gonna go on and pay for it. Which I can't even give the advice to say if that's a good idea or a bad idea. Because if you choose not to pay for it, because a lot of the times, so the people who preying on the market, they be some weak ass motherfuckers they sell. So like if you challenge them all the way to the end, they probably gonna end up not doing shit. They probably ain't shit because if they on the yard and they really are about something and they somebody and they getting money, they won't even do no petty shit like that. So most of the time it might be a weak ass motherfucker. So I might suggest You challenge it up until, if it go too far from as far as what you can handle. Every individual is different. But a lot of times the way they pick their marks, they good at it, they've been doing it, they end up paying that $80. And that's what we call the powder pack. Okay. Now, number two, we got the two brothers and a cousin. Yeah, I should know about this is when you're playing spade, and this is the one. Remember I told you I was a victim of one? It was this one. That's why I'm so good at spade like I am now. But this what they do on this shit is, well, I mean, it sounds just like what it is. Two brothers and a cousin. You get a motherfucker, they know you got some money. They know you like to play spade. You know how to play spade. Man, I need you to be my partner, man. Get these niggas. Man. I ain't been having nobody I can play with, man. These niggas can't play, man. I need a partner. So the first thing you look for, especially if they be like, man, I ain't got no money, but I know I can win, and they want you to put up the money, you should automatically be like, nah, like fuck nah. That's already a sign. No, I gotta put up your money. Nah. But like I said, I fell for this particular scam twice, both ways. The way when I had to put up the money for him, and I also played with a motherfucker who appeared to have their own money, because the bottom line, when they running this particular scam on you, nobody at the table got to have no money as long as you got some. They're not planning on paying nobody. Even your partner, when he lose, he's the cousin against the two brothers. So if he lose, he's not paying them. They can tell him, give him a list right in front of you, like, yeah, you owe me this, and give me my list, you owe me that, and the only person who coming up out something is me. So when I pay the two brothers, they slide the cousin, you know, a percentage of it. You dig? So that's the two brothers and the cousin. When you get on the spade table, your man's just like I said most of the time. If you didn't want to gamble or play spade, and you didn't look like, man, who plays spade, man? I'm trying to get down. If it didn't happen like that, if it happened because somebody came to you like, man, you know how to play spade? I mean, like, fuck, you never played spade with me before. You just came to pick me to be on your team to play spade. I didn't know this. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know, and it's always you never playing for free. So I sat there and I got at the spade table at one point, and this was the motherfucker who didn't have no money. I mean, we just getting set left and right. We getting fucked around to the point. I'm like, man, what the fuck going on? He would count so many books, and then the way he used to count used to fuck me up. He used to be like, thinking and shit, and I know I play pretty well, and we steady losing. It's like you can only lose so much on statistically, by the way the cards being dealt, and statistically, you got to get some type of win in. There's no such thing as you just constantly losing back to back. It's like something ain't right. And how they do it is it depends on what you're playing. If you're playing 1-2, if you're playing 2-4, whatever way you playing, the lower number is gonna be double. You playing both of them because you playing a regular game, $1 a game. That don't seem like a lot, but y'all know in the joint it's a lot. If you playing $1 a game, then you playing $2 for the double bubble. And what the double bubble is, if you lose while you in the hole. So if you lose the game and you in the hole, you pay double. If they get a 10 on the first hand and they have to bid it. If I bid 10 on the first hand and we get it, first of all, we won because we got the 10. And then you didn't even make board, so you set. So that's a double bubble. But they also play hit and miss, meaning if we go to 10, what I mean, on the first hand, and we miss it, that's a double bubble on us. It keep motherfuckers intact. It keep motherfuckers from saying, I'm just gonna go for the 10 for the hell of it. If I hit it, I hit it. If I miss it, I miss it. Now, if you miss it, you lose double, because you can feel like I'm gonna just go for it and then lose and then try to fight your way back. So you don't want to do that. So it just keep you keep you honest. Hit and miss. And then they also got one where it's $1 a game plus $1 a set and a double bubble. So check this out. You go 10 on the first hand. You got you lost the game and you lost in the hole and you got set. So you playing a double bubble. You paying a double bubble for losing in the hole. You lost the game in a hole, you paying double, and then you also got set because you didn't make boards, so you paying for that. So a $1 game could easily be a $3 game just like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the hit and miss. And what happens is when you playing 1-2, is pay up every $3 because you might be playing somebody in a different house. You know what I'm saying? Or if not, it could be in the same house. But this stop motherfuckers from, you losing, you all the way up to $7, $8, and whoever you playing against, they never get paid because this shit just keep continuing. Y'all come back out tomorrow and finish it. Now they was at 7, now they drop back down to 2. You know what I'm saying? Now they even, now they back up to 3, and it's like motherfuckers just playing in circles, nobody getting paid. So they do the pay up every $3 so that way. Like I said, if you lose that first game, if a motherfucker go 10 on that first hand, that's that $2 double bubble, and that's that dollar for getting set. So that's $3 right there. So you got to go to your cell, go wherever you got to go, and pay that $3. Now it's even, and y'all at it again. You know what I'm saying? And you might win your 3 back. So they got the 3 on them. They give it right back to you. Or you might lose. You might lose 3 games in a row. No double bubbles or nothing. You just lost 3 games. You go get that $3. Y'all keep playing. Shit, you lose again. You get the $6. You go get they $6. And then you might lose 2 more games. So you done paid them they 6. Now you 2 games down, but you don't have to go get that quite yet until you down another one. But anyway, I'm saying all that to say that happened to me, and I was playing 2 brothers and a cousin. I wasn't gonna never win. All I was doing was going back to my motherfucking bucket, steady giving these people my money because they running their game on me. And that was with a motherfucker who I was putting the money up for. So you can imagine how hard that was. And then I had a motherfucker who had their own money. They said they had their own money. That shit's strong. And did the same thing. Underbidding, overbidding, not watching the board, not coming back to my suit. And it's levels to this shit. I know a lot of people out there play spade, but it's a way different. It's not just following suit. It's not just you got 2 aces and a king and you say I got 2 in the possible. Nah, this ain't that. Or it ain't that. I only got 1 heart. So I'm cutting hearts. Maybe I got 2 in hearts. No, because these niggas is hitting spades off the flip. You ain't never cutting them hearts. Matter of fact, them hearts that you thought you was cutting, now that it took your spade, this dude got all them hearts. You can't cut none of them. So those are books. You know what I'm saying? So there's levels to this shit. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, when you playing with a motherfucker and it's like, man, something ain't going right. Like, what the fuck is going on? You get so confused and fucked up in the head. You didn't just play, and you didn't already been in your bucket. I mean, the typical thing is when you playing 1-2 and pay every $3. If y'all not in the same house, especially if y'all in the same house, y'all can pretty much go into lockdown. But you playing against motherfucker in another house. Once the yard closed, the yard closed. So it's typical to maybe have to go to the house once and pay up $3, and then you still be down a few, but you continue to more. But when before they close the yard and you done been in your house 3 times and paid $9, something the fuck ain't right. So you got to watch that shit. So that's the one I fell victim to. That's why it was a little longer to explain it. But yeah, that's the playing the 3 cousins, the 2 brothers and a cousin, and then last but not least, the one that I saw that I thought was the most creative was and this is just part 1, y'all. I'm gonna bring y'all 5 of these every few days or something like that. But the artwork, check this out, man. Mm, it's a piece of artwork that's been going around the yard that's been in the penitentiary from different camps and all that shit for years, maybe years. And now, as time go, they probably made more, but it's one particular picture that's been out there for years, and they have made copies of it. They Xerox and they copy because you can do that in the joint. 10 cent a copy, you go make your copies. Now you sitting in your room it looks as if you drawing this picture, and the motherfucker is like super detailed. Like whoever originally drew it, that probably took them maybe depending on how long they stayed on it per day, because they can get it done in a day, but that means that's what they spent that whole day doing. But if they put in maybe 2 to 3 hours a day, that picture probably took 4 5 days to draw. But when it's finally drawn, they start making copies of it, and it's everywhere now. This man got it in his cell, and it's looking like he's drawing it, all the details and shit. And he got his coffee at there, drawing. And you in the cell with him, you just a cellie. I mean, you in the cell with him, and then his partner, your cellie, the one who's drawing the picture, his partner come in and play with you, blah blah blah, play box, blah blah boom, boom, and knock the coffee over on the goddamn picture. Knock the coffee over on the picture. Everybody like, oh shit. He like, look at the picture, and you not realizing because I mean, when you never was just staring at it, but now that it's wet with coffee and shit, you're not even realizing this is a fucking Xerox copy. This man ain't dressed shit. He got 6, 7 more in his bucket. Oh man, and so in the joint artwork, it's a million hustles. People do laundry, tattoos, cut hair, braid hair, do hair, dreads, draw, cook certain shit. Well, the way that picture was, 'cause, it's kind of like set prices for shit. You got the little Rudy Tooth cartoon, little hearts and shit, motherfuckers want to send home to their kids. You got actual portraits. That motherfucker would draw a portrait. You think that nigga was in art class or something. Then you got shit like this. This is a hell of a drawing. Some people could even use it for tattoos or something, but that particular kind of picture there, that's gonna cost a motherfucker $100. And as soon as they get down to motherfucker, you gotta think you don't know this, but he just took his time and drew this picture and put all this detail in it, and you just knocked the coffee on it. You just cost this man $100. So now he tripping off getting his money, and he tripping off the time. So now he telling you, man, I need a motherfucking $100. And like I said, if they pick you out to do this to you, more than likely you do have the money. You do have it coming. And my suggestion is because that ain't one of them situations where, because a lot of times motherfuckers will take something from you and see how you react. And if you don't react the right way, shit, you'll be doing your whole bit getting shit took from you. But this is not exactly that. This is almost more honorable and moral. Because if I know I just wasted some shit on your shit, dog, and you know what I'm saying? I know that shit costs. The right thing to do is pay for it. Now, if something like that just keep happening and happening, now you peeping out that this game, you don't go for it. But the first time, I mean, the right thing to do probably more than likely is to pay for it. So you end up paying for it. But once your time start getting further in, you start realizing this is game. You might even end up being partners with the whole clique that did this shit and figured out. Be talking about it, man. This 3 years down the line. When I first got here, man, 3 years ago, man, y'all niggas did that. It's shit like this. So, like I said, that shit is very, very wild in there. It's a whole new ball game in there. You know what I'm saying? With no guns. So I tell a lot of young people, man, whatever you doing, do what you got to do, to stay free, stay with your family. Because when you inside a place like that, you got to worry about this shit that I just named, those 5 scams I just named. And then you start thinking about the most important shit to you that you missing, be some free shit. It don't be what you done went to jail for. It don't be for you being out here trying to hustle and get this money to do this and that. You don't miss none of that. Matter of fact, you'll give all your money away to get out of that, to leave, to go home for your freedom. You miss shit like your family, laying up with your girl. That's why men be so vulnerable in that joint. Because, that now they really love their girl. You know what I'm saying? You miss all the free shit you call home around Halloween and your parents, your mom, your family. We just sitting around watching these scary movies. You'd be like, damn, I want to be sitting with them watching these scary movies. You're not thinking about nothing else. It's the small shit. So the first thing to do before you even have to worry about these 5 scams is do what you got to do on the street so you won't even have to go through it. But I know shit happens, life happens. And if you happen to fall into that trap, this is just some of the shit to look out for. You need some shit that, like I said, I witnessed this shit with my own eyes and actually went through one of them myself. I was the one, you know, and that's just how shit go. And that's just something I wanted to put out there with y'all one time. You dig this? Your main man Bud, cuz Mr. No Faking. We on Clown City TV. Let's keep that shit rolling. You fuck with me, I fuck with y'all.